Today I'm going to talk about feminism, and to correctly talk about it, you can't just blame women. You have to point the finger at both people and why was created, and why men allowed it to be created. Because to be truthful, we live in a patriarchy right now. Um, um, and it's actually pretty good. Um, but then you say, well, don't they have patriarchies in, let's say, India, or let's say Arabic countries? I don't know. It's like we have a patriarchy, but we did it better. We did it better than them countries. Um, you see, in them countries, the reason why there's all these problems is because there's a lot of tribal stuff going on. My tribe hates your tribe because your tribe is on my land. And you can probably find out in the animal kingdom. I mean, the lions are in a spot, and then the hyenas are in this spot, and these people battle all the time. Um, and you can say that about territory and all this stuff. At first, Indians were here, and then it was this war between the Indians, Europeans. Europeans won, kicked them out. Now you gotta go over here. Um, anyway, so yeah, you have matriarchy. I got off topic. In other countries, but in our country, we did it the best, um, because um, we realize the role of the woman. See, um, we have matriarch. They have matriarchies in other countries, but they don't. They don't recognize the role of the women. They don't even care. The women are just there. They take care of the kids, but they're not propped up as an important role. We have matriarch. We have a patriarchy, but we pay attention to the role of the woman. The woman's role, and we all have roles. The role of the woman is to stay home, take care of the child, and take care of the land. Um, and then the man's job is to go out and hunt. And the men actually still do that. They go out and hunt for a job. They go out and hunt for, let's say, a good job or a better job or enough jobs. And the men still go out because the men supposed to go out, get knowledge, and bring it back to the farm and bring that back to the family. And then that knowledge that the man gained on the outside, he's supposed to bring to his woman, and then she's supposed to use it, um, with the farm, with the land. So, and the man, both roles are hard. The man has to go out into the world. That's hard. Because he might go out and fail. So, um, big. The reason why men protect women is because um, we don't want you to see what's out there. And the reason why we want you to be happy is because when we come back from going out to hunt or going out to war, we want to come back to a smiling face. We want to come back to something positive. That's why we protect women, is because we want them to be happy. And so, because when we come back from going out, we want to go back to something that's positive. So that's the main reason why men care about. They want the women to be attractive, but not too attractive. It doesn't really matter. It's just attractive enough where I could be happy about it. But even that, we don't even care about that. It's like sometimes we don't even care about that. If we'll care about just how to cook. My wife's a good cook. My girl's a good cook. We'll just want that. Or she she kept the house clean or something like that. The kids are happy, they calm and stuff. She was able to calm down the kids. So when you come home, the kids are calm. And men, they could be nurturers too, but they can only be a masculine nurturer. But the men are there to protect the children, protect the woman, um, and keep the wife happy. And the way to keep the wife happy is to make sure that she doesn't see the harshness of the world. That's what we're protecting the women from, is the harshness of the world. And the reason why women are so unhappy now is that now they're going out and they're seeing the harshness of the world. That's why women are actually more unhappy than they were. Because the women were actually happy. My mom, she had a store, and she had to wake up, I think it was like 9 o'clock every day, I think it was. And she was always frustrated. I mean, she would always come in. She was always late to work, but she had a store, so it didn't penalize her that much. But she worked really hard. But the only reason why she had this store is my father. He knew a guy that that worked for, because he had a job military there. He knew a guy that worked for the military, because some military bases they have housing, and they have stores and everything like that. They have, I think, called the PX or something. He knew a guy, and um and she got a hookup, and then that's how she was able to get a store. Um, so the reason why my father was able to have the information, because um, he had to do a lot of research, and researching is really hard and boring. And to this day, men still have the most high-paying jobs, because most of the high-paying jobs are really boring. I mean, coding and inventing and improving and economics, all that stuff is really boring. And only and you got, most of the time you have to sit in a room all day and doing it and by yourself. And men don't really have to be social. Women have to be social. That's why every time they get into a man's field, they usually socialize it, because women usually are social creatures. They're really, emotional, and that's fine. And um, and that's good to have that, because men don't really want that. But that's a mistake. We should have. Um, I think the reason why men are more likely to commit suicide and go through more things is because we don't express our feelings, and we should. Anyway, so to okay, the Christian feminism now isn't about equality. It's not about rights. It's about hating men. Um, so you say, well, who's being what is feminists attracting? Is mostly attracting young people, like young girls, and ignorant people. And now, ignorant doesn't mean stupid. Ignorant just means they don't know. So when you hear feminists, you're like, hey, are you feminist? Yeah. Okay. Well, why? Oh, because they want equality. I'm like, okay. Like, why do you? Okay, if you say you don't like men, right? You say they're bad and they're evil and corrupt. Then why do you want to be equal to them for? Because equal means the same. See, the problem with wishes is you're not being like specific. You're just saying you want to be equal. You're not being specific. And a lot of times, if you know anything about the wishing and genies, if you don't be specific, um, you're gonna get a lot of problems. Because if you know anything about manifestation, if you ask for something and you're not specific, you're gonna get something that you don't want. So you want to be like the man. You want the same job as the man. Well, you're gonna find out that these jobs suck, and the men don't even want to do them. But but the men do them because they think it's their responsibility. Men are trying to take charge of things. That's why they do them. And they're only doing them because they know that you don't want to do them, and they're protecting you, and they're trying to tell you not to do these jobs. They're telling you not to do these jobs. These jobs are hard because the real jobs like mining and working in a cave and boiler room and all that crazy jobs, women don't even want them jobs. Women usually ask for social jobs. But if they're working in the mines, no way, women still don't want them jobs. They don't ask for them jobs, and they don't want them jobs. So they're talking about certain jobs that men have. But it's usually social jobs that involve people, or being around people, being around a lot of people. So men take a responsibility of acquiring these jobs because you don't want them. You're gonna find out you're not gonna want these jobs. You're not gonna want these responsibilities. You don't want to be equal. I mean, even the animals, they don't want to be equal to the other animals because other animals have certain roles. A mouse cannot be equal to a lion. It just ain't gonna happen. And he doesn't want to be equal to a lion. He wants to be a mouse. The mouse has certain qualities that a lion doesn't have. And a lion has qualities the mouse doesn't have. And they're not equal. And they're not trying to be equal. So I don't know why you're trying to be equal to men, because it ain't no reason to. You have it really good here in America. The reason why women have it really bad in a lot of other countries is because they don't realize their role, and then the men don't realize their role either. So that's why they don't have it that good. So you want to be equal, but there's no reason to want to be. And you're already finding out it ain't that great. But anyway. Alright. Feminism attracts young girls, mostly girls who think they're unattractive, girls that are overweight, and then if you're young, and then you want boys to like you, and then they don't, because you're acquiring characteristics that boys don't like, you're talkative. I mean, well, actually, men don't really care about that either. They don't care that you're talkative. They don't care too much about that. Actually, I wouldn't mind if a girl was talkative. That's not a big deal. A lot of times, a lot of these girls get brainwashed, and they acquire characteristics that nobody likes. So they push guys away that actually might like them and don't even care that they're unattractive or they're overweight, and they push them away because they're being told by other women, you have to act like this. So feminism attracts certain types of people, girls with low self-esteem, that want boyfriends, that want boys to like them, but they're being brainwashed by the other feminists that are unhappy with their lives, and they're telling them things that don't really need to know. It doesn't really help you in the real world, and it ain't making you happy either. So what's happening is um, you're recruiting little girls who don't know anything about the world yet. They're not old enough. They definitely don't know anything about responsibilities, and you're grooming them to hate men for no reason. To hate men that these people who are recruiting them to hate. They hate men because I don't know. It's like it's pretty deep. Do they hate men because they want to be men, or they when they became like men they didn't like it, and now they have to now justify their life choice and act like they like it. So they copy men and realize, wow, this is pretty hard. I don't even want this. Um, and now that they feel good about their decision, um, they have to justify it. Because a lot of times, um, and the problem with the whole like, it's okay to be fat is that's not good because fat people don't even want to be fat. I mean, um, I gained a little weight and it was crazy. I mean, my back was hurting, my feet was hurting. It wasn't good. So I don't know this like it's okay to be fat thing. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Cause fat people don't want to be fat. I mean, I've known fat people. They don't like being fat. So I don't know this like it's okay to be fat. I don't know where that's coming from. Cause it ain't coming from fat people. It's coming from people. It's usually the people who are telling you it's okay to be fat is usually skinny people. Um, and it's like, well, why would they say that? Because um, it's usually skinny people who have really crappy personalities. Um, Nobody likes them, and they want to feel good about themselves. They want to feel as though they're doing some good. So they always pick the most vulnerable person. So they go after fat people because they think that nobody likes them anyway. There's no way nobody likes them. So I have to protect them. Um, when they, and most of the time these are women that should be having kids, and they should be protecting their babies and nurturing their babies. But instead of nurturing babies, they're nurturing grown-ups. um, so they skip that life. They skip the whole nurturing of children. And now that they're past that date when they should have did it, they're bitter. So they don't treat others well. So nobody likes these people. um, and for them to feel good about themselves, they usually go after the most vulnerable people, and that's fat people. Um, so, and the funny thing is, the people who you're telling is okay to be fat is skinny people and it's gay people. It's gay men who don't even, they're not attracted to women anyway. Um, so yeah, we need to stop that. It's not good to be fat. It's unhealthy. It's not great. Um, and a lot of times men don't even care that much. Because if they did, then why would unattractive people or even overweight people be getting married? So we don't care that much. Matter of fact, um, we'll motivate you more because we love you and care about you than a woman who's not in a relationship with you. Um, and well, if you know another thing about a lesbian relationship, you notice that they're kind of overweight. They're pretty fat. It's because women can't motivate women to want to lose weight because um, men just want you to be healthy. They don't really care. I mean, if you become healthy, you usually become attractive anyway. Um, so we really just want you to be healthy and be happy because we're gonna be around you. So because the thing about the reason why we want you to be happy is because we're not really good with emotions. See, when it comes to emotions, women are more likely to care about your emotions and can deal with them. But men can't really deal with your emotions. That's why we want you to be happy, so we can tolerate being around you. I mean, that's part of it. I'm gonna be truthful for a second. That the reason why we want you to be happy is because we're not really good with handling emotions, and women can. That's why women in a matriarchy, there's gonna be some bad stuff going on. There's gonna be some low self-esteems and everything. Because women can handle emotional states better. So there's no there's no motivation to lose weight or be healthy. So if you're overweight, women would deal with that. You know, they'll be fine with that because they can handle your state um, better, but men can't. So that's why they will, want you to lose weight because they want you to be happy. Because we can't really handle emotions too well. Anyway, so but like I said, but like with anything that it's an organization or a movement, um, there's always somebody that's making money off of it. And as long as um, as long as it's making money, um, then they don't really care too much about the problems and the let's say fake news and all this stuff about it, the results of it. Because if it wasn't really about um, helping women, then they would be doing this in other countries where it's actually needed. Um, but they do it here where it's not actually needed. Um, so feminism started out, and it wasn't really about equality. It was about it's become a hating men or everything, but it didn't start out that way. It started out as economic power. They wanted economic power. They wanted the same economic power as men. Um, but if you make, because what happened was they made a deal with the government. They made a deal, um, with the government. They asked the government, can we get, because economic rights is basically like human rights. It ain't no civil rights. Right to vote, right to fair trial. See, those are civil rights. Women didn't actually care about that. They wanted economic power. But, they didn't know how hard it is to run companies. That's why they still don't. Or we have few. Um, but even if they do, there's a nerd somewhere up in there. like, um, but that's not really a diss. That's just the truth. There's a nerd somewhere up in there, you know, um, uh, and in charge of all the finances. So it was about economic equality, property rights. That's what they wanted. Same as blacks. They didn't want civil rights. They wanted human rights. Right to right to free speech and expression and God-given rights, property rights and stuff like that. Um, Basically equal opportunity. Basically, don't stand in my way while I'm trying to strive for excellence. So um, that's what they wanted. They didn't really care about right to vote. I mean, because if you have economic power, why would you care about vote? What does that mean? Whatever. And then you have, there was another movement called Womanism, and the Womanism was the black female movement, and that wasn't about equality. That was just about uh, the women, the black women, want to be treated better on the job. Now, they didn't want to exclude men because the men were doing most of the hard jobs. But the black woman just wanted to be, they wanted to pay better and they wanted to be treated better. Um, and a lot of people don't understand is that a lot of the jobs were given to the black women by white women. White women were giving the black women jobs, the maid jobs. That's who was giving you the job. Um, so women actually had a lot of power because they were actually giving black women jobs. Black women weren't giving other black women jobs. White women were. Um, and usually these are maid jobs, nanny jobs, and these were some hard jobs. And a lot of the white women were just as racist as the white men were, and and they treated it just as bad. They were just as racist, just as mean. Um, anyway, so it wasn't that women didn't have power. It's just they wanted more power. That's what it was about. Anyway, and then because the feminism wanted numbers, womenism needed numbers. So they basically brought the groups together, and the feminists got what they wanted. Women didn't get what they wanted. Um, but they didn't abandon the womenists though. Just the black women didn't get what they wanted. They still was using the black women. Actually, the women got no. Nah, I think they kind of threw the black women under the bus. But the problem with the womenist movement is that the black women shouldn't have even joined feminism. They should have stayed in their movement and gained power on their own. It would have been way better if they would have gained power on their own instead of, matter of fact, they should have used their men. Anyway, they should have gained power on their own instead of trying to join another movement they know nothing about and not knowing that in the end they was going to stab in the back. Because black women also didn't care about right to vote either. They just wanted to be paid better and treated better on the job. That's what they wanted. Because blacks had over 70% marriage rate. So over 70% of black homes had a mother and a father. So that means you were bringing in two paychecks. And the blacks weren't expecting that much anyway. They just wanted to be um, treated better, paid better, and they was bringing in two paychecks anyway. And so they didn't really care about what the whites were doing anyway. But there was, let's say, anyway, I get them off topic with it. But yeah, feminism is about man hating. Um, it's not about equality. It's not about rights, because they're already pretty. They're not equal, but that you don't really need that. What you need is to understand the role of the woman, which is um, to want to take care of the household, and then the role of the man is to go out, gain knowledge, bring it back to the household. And we do that because we don't want you to go out there. And if you notice, the women that go out there, a lot of bad stuff happens. So I don't understand why you want to go out there for, because it ain't great. I mean, we don't care if you go to the beach or something like that. But most of the time, men are, because a man is protecting you somewhere. Even though you're, being emotional and you're protesting and you're acting stupid, where a man is somewhere protecting you. So I don't see what the problem is. But y'all got it pretty good. Um, yeah, I tell you the truth, I don't really care if y'all complain, because The role of the woman is to complain. That's what they're supposed to be doing. The women complain, and then the men solve the problem. If we're not going to know the problem if nobody's complaining. So the role of the woman is to complain, to state a problem. They care about the present. Right now, you need to take out the trash. See, the men don't care about the present. All they care about is the future. That's why women, that's why men run companies, because it's all about the future. What's going to happen? How much money you're going to make in the future, and how much we're going to need for the future. But women don't care about the future. They care about the present. So that's why you see women complaining about like frivolous stuff, like the air conditioner or something. It's because that's something that's happening in the present. I've seen women, they'll be talking about like something like very like serious, and they'll bring up some small thing, and like, hey, they'll point out like, hey, why are you wearing that shirt? And I'm like, like what? I sit there talking about politics, and she'll say, my mom or a person would say, hey, why are you wearing that shirt? And it's like, what? What does that got to do with the conversation? It's like, because women only care about the present. They don't care about the future. So that's why you don't want women running the world, because they don't care about the future. They only care about the present. It's like, if you need to take the trash out, they'll say, you take out the trash. And the man is supposed to do it because because if you don't, that trash is going to be there and it's going to stink up the house. And the man knows that, so that's why he does that, because he knows the future. All he cares about is the future. So we need women to complain so we can solve the problem. If they didn't complain, we wouldn't know what the problems are. So they're only doing what they're supposed to be doing. So we're complaining. We're saying that they're complaining too much. No. They're only doing what they're supposed to be doing. What women do. So every time women keep saying that they're equal to men, they're saying that they're different from men. Every day they prove that they're not. They complain more. They care about the present only. And they only complain about like frivolous things, because they don't care about the future. They don't care about big things. And the women that do, they're only it's a few. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, women can complain, it's fine, but men have to fix the problem. And the reason why there's all these problems is because men are not stepping up and fixing the problem. So if your woman is complaining about like little things, that's good. That means it ain't that many problems. That means men have solved all the big problems. If the women are just complaining about like, you need to take the trash out, and that's it, that's good. That's great. That means all the serious problems have already been solved, and only thing she's complaining about is small things. So you're doing a good job. Y'all doing good. If your woman is complaining about small things, that's good. That means if a woman's complaining about small things, that's good. That means you took care of the big things. Alright, I'm out.